All right, we travel on the road to Vanderbilt, a team that's playing well. I think they've won 4 in a row, and they're just finding ways to win, and that's what we're trying to do, trying to find a way to win games and finish games. A lot of games in conference play are going to come down to a play here, a shot there, a stop there. They found a win. It's a big win they had against Tennessee. But it's a team, they play well at home just like everyone else does. And so we want to have the opportunity to go and steal one. We hadn't done it this year, and it seemed like we've gotten close to some games. And hopefully we'll play better in this game.
Mike, they've got 3 guys playing 37-plus minutes in SEC games. You guys obviously like to work people down. Just talk about all the minutes those guys are playing, and if you think you can have that be an impact on the game.
Well, they're playing with what they have, and those guys are playing pretty good minutes. When you talk about Odom and Fuller and Parker, they're veteran guys. But we want to make depth an issue. And how do you do that? Well, we got to get out and make them work on both ends, offensively, defensively, and executing defensively, as well as offensively, and got to make shots.
You mentioned earlier that you didn't recruit Bobby Portis to be a savior, and then after a game like last night, you worry that people start looking at him as that, or that to be almost an over-reliance on him?
No, I think if you look at Bobby, he lets the game come to him. I think he was in a rhythm last night, and it was one of those nights where everything was flowing for him. But I figure if you ask him, you say, "Hey, we got the W." That's the most important thing. I thought he was effective on defense. He blocked 6 shots, but he changed a lot of shots. Got rebounds, big rebounds, and kicked it out. He's been playing well. I mean, if you look at what he's putting, maybe not to that extreme, but he's been playing well, getting almost double-doubles in game. Just a guy getting better. I think he's getting better, and he lets the game come to him. And I thought he played big last night. He played to his size, and that's an advantage for us. And we recognize it, and we got to recognize it even more. I think even as we get ready to go play on the road, that he's a guy that people have to pay attention to. He's a good passer too. He's a very good passer. Doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. So he's evolving as a player.
What kind of? He's obviously not scoring 35 or not. He's been scoring pretty well in recent games. What kind of defensive attention do you think he's going to get? How do you think he'll handle that?
He's done well thus far. I think he's been playing a lot more with the physicality that you got to play in the SEC. Even when the double ups come on him, earlier guys were touching his balls, getting their hands on the ball as he made moves, or just bumping him off the spot. I think now he's figuring out, that getting the ball in places where he can make moves. And I think our offense, when it's open and it's flowing, I think it gives him an opportunity to be a guy that can create or create for somebody else. That's why I say he's a good passer. And I think the more we execute from an offensive standpoint, then I think it's an advantage for us with him. He's a skilled forward. Skilled forward that's long, and when he's shooting the ball like he's shooting the basketball, that makes us a team that now we're scoring in the paint.
Vanderbilt's won 4 straight, including 2 in a row. What's kind of been their surge? What's caused them to play?
Well, I think their defense. I think they mix and match their defense, whether it be a zone man, and they spread the floor, and they got the game in their rhythm. They slowed the games down. They're averaging 61 points, and anytime they play that type of game, it favors them. They got guys that can knock down 3-point shots. So they're just a team that's playing well together.
Have you watched the film of the Alabama game yet? And if so, just how amazing it was to watch what Bobby did again, after
Have not watched.
last night. Yeah.
Have not watched.
You're in the heat of the moment, you're coaching your team. After the game, did you get a chance to kind of stop and just think about what he did? I mean, scoring 29 of 35, 1.17 in a row, all that stuff.
I guess the only thing I did, I saw the stats. When you see the stats, I think 14 for 17. 1 for 2 from 3-point line, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, total of 9 rebounds. I think he may have had, like I said, 6 block shots. that just tells me he was pretty active. He was he was into the game. Played, what, 30 minutes? Was it 30 minutes? Played about 30 minutes, and it's amazing. It was a refreshing 30 minutes, and I think that's because our bench, the guys that came in, Moses, Landis, Jacory, I thought all those guys that came off the bench, gave us something off the bench, so we had a chance to rest him, and I guess he finished what he started. He started off, then he finished it in the second half, knocking down some big free throws going down the stretch. Good players want to be in those moments, and he knocked those 2 free throws down to put us up. Had a big shot, the little swinging hook almost going to the basket with the shot clock running down. So he was in there and had a chance to make some big plays for us.
Was he asked to come out at any point? It looked like maybe.
Yeah, he got tired. He did. He got tired. As a matter of fact, in the first half, he got tired, and I think by the time I got him out there, he probably scored 2 more buckets and got a couple more rebounds. So just say, hey, man, you have to play through some of that. But he did. He got his hand up. He did.
Was it hard to take him off the floor even for 9 minutes? I know 31's a whole lot in your system, but was it hard, the way he was playing, was it hard to take him out?
No, he wanted to come out. I thought he wanted to come out, and I thought it helped him, as we got into the second half, because he had energy going down the stretch.
Will you talk to your freshman in Landis just about the unique configuration at Vanderbilt away from the bench for a whole half?
Have not. They'll see it tomorrow. We'll see it tomorrow. But I think the communication between those guys out on the floor, we got to. That's where leadership comes in on you're in a game like that, where they got to be able to talk and. Offensively, make sure they execute. Defensively, at the same time, be talking as well.
You mentioned a little bit about Landis last night, but what did you think about his performance coming off the suspension and how he handled all that? Really, you needed a second score at that point. He kind of provided it.
He came in, and I thought he played big minutes for us. I think they were really efficient minutes. I think he scored a consecutive 8 points, but it wasn't about the 8 points. I think his physicality was very evident, whether he boxed people out or hit people. I mean, it's like he was engaged. I thought the focus was there for Landis, and as I said, that Landis helps our basketball team in a big way.
We tried pretty hard last night to get Bobby to, talk about himself and all the points. He just kept saying, I don't care about records, I don't care about points, I just want to win, I cry when we lose. I mean, what does that say about a freshman to have that kind of attitude after game?
Winner. One word, winner. You know what that means? Whatever it takes to win.
Is that kind of refreshing in this day and age?
Absolutely.
Is there like
Absolutely. I said that from the beginning. It's very refreshing. He's a humble and hungry kid. And he wants to be not just a good player. He wants to be a great player.
Any more questions for Coach?
What would you say the keys are to beat Vanderbilt?
Well, I think we got to get into their bench. I think we got to make them work. I think our defense has got to be a continuous with our defense for 2 halves. And offensively, we got to execute and take advantage of the size advantage that we have. Take advantage of the depth that we have, and we got to shoot the basketball. We got to make shots. We got to make shots. Got to get to the free throw line. I want us to be in attack mode. That's for 40 minutes, not 20 minutes, but for 40 minutes.
Odom in particular, some of the other SEC coaches are talking about his skill level for a pretty big perimeter player. What is about Odom's game that impresses you?
Well, I think he's a New York kid, and so he got a great feel for the game. He's been shooting the ball at a pretty good clip. He's been around there for quite a while. I mean, he played with some tremendous players. The team they had with Ezeli and Jackson and Taylor. I mean, he was maybe a freshman on that team. So he's been around, and now it's his time. And so I think he's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Also, I guess Bill Clinton did an interview with ESPN the other day where he said Arkansas was going to retire his number 42 jersey in his honor because he was the 42nd president. Do you know anything about that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, no, you brought that to my attention, Bob.
That's the first you've heard of it?
Yeah.
What would it mean to see him back in the building again?
Say it again?
What would it mean if he was back in the building again?
I think the last time I saw him in the building was probably after the national championship, during the national championship year, and I think after the national championship year. That's one of our, when you talk about an alumnus, former president, a Hog fan, don't get no better than that.